It started with a missing woman and a husband who looked almost too calm. When police arrived at the small suburban house in Ohio, Daniel Harper was already waiting outside. Arms crossed, eyes red, voice shaking just enough to sound believable. "My wife never came home," he whispered. At first, nobody questioned him. He cried during interviews, he thanked officers for helping, he even volunteered to search nearby woods with neighbors. But something about him felt rehearsed. Not fake, just controlled. Detective Elena Ruiz had worked enough cases to know that real panic is messy. People interrupt themselves, they forget details, their emotions jump around. But Daniel? He delivered every sentence like he had practiced it in front of a mirror. Still, there was no evidence. No body, no signs of forced entry, no witnesses. For 3 days, the case went nowhere. Then came the interview that changed everything. Detectives brought Daniel back in for another round of questioning. This time, they intentionally changed their strategy. Instead of accusing him, they acted sympathetic. Soft voices, slow questions, almost friendly. And Daniel relaxed. That's when the mistake happened. Detective Ruiz casually mentioned that search teams were now checking security cameras near the highway. It was a bluff. There were no cameras. But the second those words left her mouth, Daniel smiled. Not a nervous smile, not fear. Relief. Tiny, fast, almost invisible. But it was there, like someone who had just realized the disaster had been avoided. Ruiz felt chills run down her arms. Because innocent people don't feel relief when investigators get closer. They feel afraid. Afraid the person they love is hurt. Afraid of bad news. But Daniel, he looked like a man who had just dodged something. That single emotional reaction changed the entire investigation. Police secretly reviewed Daniel's earlier interviews again. This time, they weren't listening to his words. They were studying his emotions. And suddenly, disturbing patterns appeared everywhere. Whenever detectives talked about his wife personally, Daniel showed almost nothing. No sadness, no warmth, no grief. But whenever they mentioned evidence, his breathing changed instantly. His fingers twitched, his jaw tightened. He wasn't emotionally connected to her disappearance. He was emotionally connected to getting caught. That realization broke the case open. Investigators pulled phone records and discovered Daniel's location history had gaps during the exact night his wife vanished. Then, cadaver dogs alerted near a remote construction site 30 miles away. Buried beneath loose dirt and broken concrete, they found her. The entire town was horrified. Neighbors described Daniel as quiet, respectful, even loving. But behind closed doors, prosecutors revealed years of hidden control, manipulation, and financial pressure inside the marriage. And in court, the most powerful evidence wasn't DNA. It wasn't fingerprints. It was emotion. Detective Ruiz testified about the exact moment Daniel showed relief during questioning. That tiny crack in his behavior exposed what his words never could. Because sometimes criminals prepare for every question, every alibi, every lie. But human emotion, that's the one thing people can't fully rehearse. And for Daniel Harper, relief became the emotion that destroyed him.